So they want us to use a known area formula to do this integral here. So I would recommend that you do this. Focus on this part there and just pretend that thing says y equals all of this gibberish here. Now why don't we square both sides? So if I square this and if I square that, this will be y squared equals. Now the square is going to knock out the square root, so it's just this right here. Now why don't I actually add this term to the other side, and it would actually say this right here. It would say this here. It would go like that. So what we can do is, this is actually a circle, and the center of this circle is at HK. It would be positive 2, because you take the opposite, and then this has no shift, so it's 0. And then the radius of this circle would be the square root of this number, which is of course 2. So what would the graph of that even look like? Well, let's see, maybe we can just plot this real quick on the XY axis, like that. And then let's just go 4 spaces. Let's go 2 spaces. So where exactly is the center of this circle? This circle would be centered at 2, 0, right? That's the center. And then the radius is 2. So go up, down, left, and right 2 spaces. And look, I'm not an artist, right? But I mean, gosh, this is not the best looking circle. But it should be something like this. It's supposed to be centered at 2, 0 with a radius of 2. Now, if you look at this guy here, that is actually a semicircle because it's a square root. We did what we did just to get a visual, but now we have to respect the original integral. That square root, this actually gives you just a semicircle. And you can accept either the top or the bottom, it doesn't really matter. But let's say that we had just this upper portion to deal with, okay? So we're dealing just with that. That's a semicircle. Now from where to where are we gonna integrate? We're gonna integrate from 2 to 4. So here's 2, and here's 4. So we're gonna integrate, this is what we want. That blue region, which actually happens to be a quarter of the original circle. So what I plan to do is find the area of the regular circle and then just divide it by 4 because we're looking at 1/4 of a regular circle. So go back to like middle school. Remember like area equals pi r squared is the area for a circle. Well, we know that the radius is 2. So this area would be pi 2 squared. So the area would be 4 pi, but that's the area of the complete circle. We have half of a semicircle because that's a semicircle, and from 2 to 4 gives us this right-hand portion. So I have to divide this by 1/4, right? So I have to divide by 4 or multiply by 1/4, it doesn't matter. Either way, your final answer should be pi square units. Pi square units is that. So we use things that we know to do an integral that we don't know.